I'd like to see who we have here today. Hello, Miss Joe Preston out of San Jose, California. What's going on? Mr. Johnny Harris out of Allen, Texas. What's going on, Steve from Costa Rica? Que pao? So as an Army veteran, I'd like to say welcome home to my fellow vets. I'm Sally Mary, and I'm coming into you guys live from Washington State. Now let's take pause for a second here. Now imagine having more months than a paycheck. This is a very relatable scenario, being that 1 out of 2 Americans are directly impacted by this. Now imagine being the individual who's able to hand over that much needed $400 to help that person tie over for the rest of the month. Believe it or not, 7K continues to be an answer to that prayer I didn't even know I had. With that said, I strongly encourage you to make sure you have your notebook and your writing implement ready, because the information you're about to receive will not only impact your life, but the lives of those around you. Remember that action takers are money makers. At this time, I have the utmost pleasure of introducing our first speaker. He has been with the company since the second month of his sweet beginnings. He is a successful entrepreneur who truly understands the importance of profits and passive income. He is one of the most dedicated and loyal person I know, and he's been married for over 2 decades. And between his service, between the military, and having been a civilian instructor for the military, he's served for over 4 decades as a knife, and he's also a Black Hawk. He was a Black Hawk helicopter instructor pilot, but today he is what I call the gift that keeps on giving, because till this day, though this man is retired, he continues to work in the community as a medevac helicopter pilot. He's a Silver Associate, and without further ado, please help me welcome Chris Latin Sr. Chris, are you there?
Sally Mary, you are awesome. We appreciate you. Thanks for all that you do. As part of Legacy Builders, as part of 7K, and also all the stuff you do behind the scenes. You're awesome. So we appreciate you. And thank you for your service as well. Hey, folks, we're going to get started with our wealth strategies. It comes from this booklet, Wealth Strategies Information. Sally Mary said that I had been a part of the military for 4 decades, and that is true. I've worked with the military for 25 years active, and then 15 years as a Department Army civilian. And what we're here to talk about is gold and silver, not military. And so a lot of times people check out when they hear the term gold and silver because they think it's a rich man's game. And I can understand why. You've probably seen the commercials on TV to buy gold and silver. I've called a couple of those, and they want $5,000 to $10,000 upfront just to get started. So I can understand why people think that it's a rich man's game. But we're actually going to show you the importance of owning precious metals. And hopefully I can capture your attention with, well, first a couple questions, and then an attention getter. I've got an attention getter right here. And so how many of you would agree with me that the economy is out of control right now? Drop a 1 in the chat. If you feel like the economy is out of control, you feel like inflation is out of control, we really don't know what's going to happen. People lost their jobs several years ago, a few years ago, due to the pandemic. And do we really have income insurance? Do we have financial insurance? We've got homeowners insurance. We've got car insurance. We've got all types of insurance. But do we have income insurance? So I want to share with you the secret. The secret is that gold and silver, these 2 items right here, are the key to inflation. Okay, and here's what I mean by that. The decline of the dollar over the last more than 100 years has gone down over 97%. And we're going to share some slides that kind of share that information. But what I want to share with you about this stuff right here is that, when you look at history, when you look at the value of this coin, this is actually a 1-ounce gold bar. This 1-ounce gold bar or 1-ounce gold coin in the early 1900s had a value of about $20. So $20, what could you buy then? So let's talk about purchasing power. What could you buy in the early 1900s for $20? You could have bought a custom-made suit, a high-end firearm, which was a Colt Peacemaker back then. The Colt Peacemaker was $17 in like 1907. So you could put down a $20 gold coin and purchase the highest, the best firearm of its time. You could also purchase a tailor-made dress. Well, today you can't buy any of those things for $20. But this 1 ounce gold bar or 1 ounce gold coin, either way, has a value of around $2,600 right now. And so the reality is you can still purchase the same things that you could purchase 100 years ago with gold and silver. And so, with a $2,600 gold coin right now, you could still purchase a custom made suit or a high end firearm, probably two decent pistols right now. And so, hopefully, I've captured your attention and shared the secret with you that gold and silver keep up with inflation. I'm going to share my screen. Let me pull that up right now. Let's optimize that as well. So, again, the information that I'm going to share with you comes from the Wealth Strategies booklet that I'm holding up. And so we followed these slides. And here at Legacy Builders, we actually are a group of people that share information really to help others. And so we start out with some questions. Are you working harder for your money, really just to get by, to make ends meet? There's a statistic that Sally Mary mentioned, that more than half of Americans could not cover the cost of a $400 emergency. And so really what's going on? It's all in the numbers. And when I say in the numbers, we're talking about that price increase, the devaluation of the dollar. And you look at food and drink, it's up over 88%. How about groceries? 343%. Folks, did you get a 343% pay raise over a 23-year span? I felt like I had a pretty good job in the military flying helicopters, but the thing was, I didn't get a 343% pay raise, and I imagine you didn't either. And so when you look at the increases on these things that we really need, I mean, everything on this list except for college, you have to have. You have to have car insurance if you drive a car. You've got to have water. You've got to have food and heat, medical. You've got to have these items. And so when you look at this and we say, why is this happening? It's really the decline of the dollar. The Federal Reserve was created in 1913. A dollar was a dollar. Okay. And this dollar, let's see, this one was printed in 1957. And it actually says silver certificate on it. It was backed by physical silver. And our money until 1971, as you can see on this slide, was backed by gold or silver. Nixon took us off the gold standard in 1971. At that time, all currencies were tied to the US dollar, and then they all became at one time a fiat currency. Fiat meaning that it's backed by nothing. And so as you can see here, the decline of the dollar and what we're talking about, so a dollar is still a dollar today, but it's the purchasing power. The purchasing power has gone down over 97%. And I think most of you would agree with me that $100 today does not buy what $100 bought 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And so here's where we want to make a case for sound money. And we're talking gold and silver. So again, I hope I captured your attention with the gold and the silver. And so this stuff is the stuff that keeps up with inflation. Now we're going to show you how you can also get ahead. And so here's a couple more examples. Picture this. In 1965, a $1 bill and a 1 ounce silver coin were equal in value. And so for $2,500 in 1965, you could have purchased a new Mustang or 2,500 ounces of silver. Well, today there's no way you're getting a new car or a Mustang or anything that's got four wheels for $2,500 that's brand new. But the reality is, with the same amount of silver today, you can purchase two Mustangs. And that's because it has a value of close to $80,000. And so it's the same with gold. Picture this. In 2000, the average cost of a home was $169,000, equivalent to 626 ounces of gold. Well, for the same gold today, you can purchase 3 homes and the value is over $1.5 million. So now that we know it's important to own precious metals, and again, we didn't learn this information in school. I didn't learn it in 40 years of being in the military. I didn't learn it in college. They don't teach this stuff. They don't teach about the economy and gold and silver. They teach you to get a job and work for somebody else. And really, that's what most of us do. We end up working for someone else. We don't learn the secrets of success when it comes to finances and the economy. And so now that we know it's important to own precious metals, you probably have questions. I had questions when I first started, like, what should I buy? Who should I trust? And that's a big one. We tend to want to do business with people we know, like, and trust. That's why when we go up to a car dealer and he says, "Hey, how can I help you?" We really don't want to talk to him, but we tend to do business with people we know, like, and trust. Here, another question: how much it takes to get started? Do I need to be an expert to win? We're going to share with you that there's a lot of mixed advice out there. You really don't know who to trust. But the thing is, we're going to share with you that it's a lot easier than you think. And you're also going to learn that you don't need to be the expert to win. And so we think things should be a whole lot easier, and it should be easy to be able to purchase gold and silver. So here's where we introduce our company. We are 7K. 7K is a member direct marketing company, a network marketing company. Don't let that scare you away. Now, we are on a mission really to help each other create financial independence and leave a legacy. And really, what's a legacy? A legacy is something that you can leave on to your kids and your grandkids. A lot of times people, they'll leave a home or they'll leave money, and then kids are just stuck with taxes and things of that nature. Well, it's a whole lot different when it comes to gold and silver. Now, I had mentioned networking. Networking is the number one way to build a business. I ran a lawn care business for 7 years, and the very best way that I gained new customers was word of mouth. Well, that's networking. When you share it with somebody, that's how we share 7K with people. Now, it all started with these 4 gentlemen. Now, these 4 guys did not come together because they need your money or want your money. They came together because they wanted to give back to the community where they made their money, which is networking. Now, they also knew that networking had a bad rap in some cases, but some people really love it. And the thing is, there is mixed advice on networking out there. People love it, people hate it, and there's people in the middle. But they wanted to change networking 2 ways. One, provide a product that was truly valuable. We're talking gold and silver. And 2, make it so the average person could make an above average income. And what do I mean by average person? I'm talking about that person that couldn't cover the cost of a $400 emergency. I'm talking about the person that's working 40 hours a week, but still there's more month at the end of the money versus money at the end of the month. I'm talking about the single parent out there, the people that have full-time jobs and they start businesses because they want that additional stream of income. So they wanted to make it so the average person could make above average income. So now, how do we get started? The best thing to do is start with bullion. Now, bullion is bars and rounds. We're talking silver and gold bars and rounds. But we also have what's known as fractional gold and silver. So picture this. This 1 ounce gold bar has a value of around $2,600. And some people say, well, I'd love to own that, but I don't have $2,600. Well, you can put your money in the Sound Money wallet and purchase fractional gold and silver. So that means if you have $2,600, great. You put it in the Sound Money wallet and you can get a bar or a coin or whatever. But let's say you only have $200. Let's say you only have $50 or $20 or even $1. You can put in the Sound Money wallet and keep adding to it. And that's the beauty of fractional gold and silver. You can add money to it as long as you choose. It's kind of like the old layaway programs where you could go into a store and you could put your stuff on layaway and you pay a little bit each month and then you pick it up at Christmas time. You got some great Christmas gifts. Well, that's the beauty of bullion. So I've got a short video I want to share with you.
If you're watching this video, chances are you're curious about gold and silver. You might have a few questions, like why should I buy precious metals? What metals should I be buying? Who can I trust to buy them from? How do I know I'm getting a good deal? And how can I afford more? You should know that you're not alone. Most people have these questions, and over the next few minutes, we'll introduce you to an easy solution. Most people we talk to say they have a feeling that it's a good idea to own precious metals, but really don't understand why, or how to get started. Or they don't feel like they have the budget for it, so they don't do anything about it. This lack of understanding costs them a lot of money. And quite honestly, we don't want you to make the same mistakes. We've watched far too many people struggle as the economy fluctuates, employment issues arise, or unexpected changes come up in life. Owning gold and silver can help shield you against all these challenges long term. When we started 7K, we established a mission to help the average person get ahead by adding precious metals to their portfolio, no matter their knowledge or circumstances. We've already changed the precious metals industry by making it extremely easy to get started without any maximums or any minimums, period. But that's not enough. We're now completely revolutionizing the industry and making it so anyone and everyone can seamlessly start buying precious metals. It doesn't matter if you want to start with $100 or even $1. The new technology provided by our partner company Sound Money Wallet will allow you to convert your cash to various asset classes of fractional gold or silver quickly with no games or gimmicks. With Sound Money, you own the metals you buy, but they store them safe and sound. They offer limited capacity storage for up to $50,000 in asset value. And you'll sleep easy at night knowing that if you ever want your metals, they'll be in the mail at the drop of a hat. How? Sound Money uses a non-segregated vault at their partner company, VaultMax, to store your precious metal assets, protected by some of the most technologically advanced security out there. You can be sure your metals are safe there. If you want your metal, simply request it. Pay the shipping and insurance and it will be on the way. But what if you need cash? The old way of liquidating precious metals, including lugging a heavy box to a local dealer, hearing excuses for why they couldn't possibly match the current market value of your metals, and probably ending up in a no-win situation, or contacting an online buyer with a typical $1,000 minimum only to find that the price they initially quoted you for your metal dropped significantly once they received your heavily taxed package 4 to 6 weeks later. With Sound Money, you can kiss all that headache goodbye. This is the only tool on the market with the power to give you frictionless liquidation with one of the best buyback prices in the industry. So whether you're a savvy investor who already knows the power of gold and silver and the advantage of a private vault, or you're trading your first dollar for precious metals, Sound Money will make your ownership journey convenient and easy. Be confident that control is back in your hands from start to finish. Let Sound Money Wallet work for you.
Man, the Sound Money Wallet and the private vault system, it really means Uncle Sam can't touch it. And you have access to that Sound Money Wallet where you can store up to $50,000 at no extra or no fee. And so here's the thing. We've talked about gold and silver bullion, but let's also talk about collectibles. And why do I say collectibles? One, the gold and silver bullion is the defense that we talked about against the economy. It keeps up with inflation. But let's also talk about an offense. And so what is a collectible? And I want you to remember this kind of, I call it the formula down at the bottom. It's called, we're talking about things that have an incredible design, a great story, historical significance, low mintage. And I'm also going to add things that are kept in perfect or near perfect condition. And here's some examples of that. Now, we don't have magazines or baseball cards, but these are examples of collectibles. Things that were kept in perfect condition. They have a great story, historical significance, incredible design, and they tell really, really interesting historical facts. So take this amazing Fantasy Spider-Man magazine, originally 12 cents in 1962. It sold for over $3 million. Why? Because it had that formula. And the same for the Mickey Mantle baseball card. It sold for over $10 million. We're talking $12.6 million. Why? Because it had the formula. And so when we look at collectibles, there's also collectibles in the gold and silver industry. Now, I'm gonna share a short video on the $1.2 million mistake.
You probably made a $1.2 million mistake and didn't even know it. Let me explain. Let's start by taking a look at this chart that shows the purchasing power of the US dollar from 1913 to 2013. In 1913, a dollar was worth $1 in purchasing power. In 2013, a dollar was worth 5 cents in purchasing power, and even less now. We've seen the dollar and all currencies lose value over time. Some of this is due to inflation, but most is because of a change in 1971. In 1971, the US president ended the Bretton Woods Agreement, which cut all ties to currencies that were backed by gold. All at once, all world currencies became a fiat currency, meaning they are simply backed by whatever the government says they're worth. Take this scenario as an example. Let's say you wanted to purchase a brand new Mustang in 1965. It would have cost you $2,500 or 2,500 US silver coins. The same 2,500 US dollars won't get you a car today, but those 2,500 coins would get you 2 cars. As you can see here, while the US dollar has lost its value over time, gold and silver have maintained their purchasing power. If you'd consistently purchased gold and silver bullion over the years, you would have negated inflation and maintained an average buying power. But what would have happened if you'd have bought collectible gold and silver? It begins with the MS-70 Silver Eagle. MS stands for mint state. It's a grading system. An MS70 coin means the coin is in perfect condition. If you'd purchased one MS70 Silver Eagle every month since 1986, you'd be sitting on a $1.2 million portfolio, and it would have only cost you between $50,000 and $80,000. That's why we call it the $1.2 million mistake, because most people didn't buy them. What's crazy is that's what the coin the US Mint makes millions of every year. What would have happened if you focused on even more exclusive, unique, and rare modern coins? Here are a few examples of the track record for a few more unique and exclusive coins that we've offered through the years. A 2004 Tiffany art coin sold originally for around $100 with shipping and is selling in the market today for between $5,000 and $10,000. If you didn't get one, that's at least a $4,910 mistake. The Julius Caesar 7K exclusive from 2021 sold for around $360 with shipping and is selling for between $950 and $1,100 today. If you missed it, that's another $550 mistake. And here's the Montana Butterfly from the 7K Autosaver program that sold for $150 with shipping. Today, it would cost you around $1,200 to get one. That's another $1,000. Sure, those are great performers, but that's a portfolio of around $10,000 with only a few coins and a fraction of the cost. With time, the power and potential of collectibles are real, and we're on a mission to help you avoid the potentially $1.2 million mistake of not adding them to your legacy.
And so, I didn't know anything about collectibles until I joined 7K a little over 7 years ago. And the thing is, collectibles is the offense that we had mentioned. And so here at 7K, we have an exclusive buying club where you have access to these beautiful collectibles, the ones that tell these incredible stories, and they have the great designs. They have historical significance, and they're also kept in perfect condition. And a lot of times, the very rare, meaning low mintage. And so, some of these coins have just been incredible. They've had incredible growth. Now, how can you have access or get to these types of coin? One, you become a member and you have access to the exclusive buying club, but we also make it easy for a person to put them on a savings plan. We call it the Auto Saver program. Now, the Autosaver program gives you access to collectibles, and you just set it and forget it. And that, when I first started out, I got one. I got one of the American Silver Eagles, like talked about for the $1.2 million mistake. Well, I've been buying one of those every month for the last 7.5 years. Now, we've added additional autosavers. And so not only do we have the American Silver Eagle, we also have the Beauties of the World series, really beautiful coins. We have half-gram gold, and then we also have the gold notes, one of my personal favorites. These gold notes, they're pure gold, but they have incredible artwork on them by the artist Thomas Holdman. Thomas Holdman is known all around the world for his stained glass. He's partnered with 7K, and he's put his artwork on these beautiful gold notes. And so these are some of my absolute favorite. And so when I first started out, I got one. Now I get at least one of all 4 autosavers every single month. Plus, I participate in other types of coins. We have coin drops, things of that nature. And the thing is, I'm buying things that I like. I did my research. Historically, the MS70s, the Proof 70s, these autosaver things, historically, they've always gone up in value. So it makes sense for me to trade my fiat currency that keeps going down in value for something that continues to go up in value. It just makes sense. Now, with the Autosaver program, and again, this is an optional program, but with the Autosaver program, you're also going to earn loyalty points. Now, what are loyalty points? You get them when you refer a friend, and you also get them when you purchase your autosaver every month. Now, what can you buy with loyalty points? You can get some free stuff. So this is a 3-ounce fighter pilot coin. I purchased one of these for around $600 when they first came out. And the thing is, with this coin, I'm thinking, man, this is one of the coolest coins that I've seen. It's a 3-ounce fighter pilot coin. It's part of the Real Heroes series. Well, shortly after this coin came out, it was also in the loyalty shopping area. I had enough points for it, so I spent my loyalty points and I got a coin just like this for free. So I have 2 of these now. So I spent around $600 for one. The value of each one now is around $2,500. So, man, you can get free stuff with your loyalty points. You also have access to 7K Advantage. It's a travel program where you can save on hotel, car rental, vacation packages, department stores, movie theaters, restaurants, and even airfare. It's just a really great way to add to your savings. Now, we talked about buying stuff on a regular basis, the Autosaver program. Well, here's my friend Curtis Harlan. He completed his state animal series. And so we're talking 50 coins in the state animal series. And he's super excited about this. And I have this same collection. I'm really excited about it as well. Here's a picture of my collection about 4 years ago. And the reason I share this with you is for a couple of reasons. One, I want you to know that I didn't have gold and silver before I started with 7K, and I just started purchasing a little bit each month. And also, what I want to bring out in this picture is that on the right, you can see gold and silver bullion, and on the left, you can see gold and silver collectibles. So I have the defense and the offense that goes with the crazy economy that we have. Now, a lot of times people say to me, Chris, I know it's important. I get it. You've shared with me that it's important to own precious metals. What should I buy? Well, I can't. I'm not your financial advisor or planner. I can't give you that information. I can tell you what I buy, but realize what I purchase is based off of my own goals. What you should do is purchase based off of your goals. And how do we determine what your goals are? Well, we have a collector's training and a buyer certification that helps to educate us on the 5 top reasons why people buy gold and silver, what metals to buy based off of our own goals, and really the difference between bullion, proof 70s, MS 70s, gem uncirculated coins. So we become the expert. You don't have to be the expert. You can purchase on our coin drops because we have a team of experts that's doing it. But the more you want to learn, you have access to it free with your membership. People say they would pay $500 alone for each one of these trainings. It's free with your membership. Now, we've talked about gold and silver bullion and gold and silver collectibles, the defense and the offense, but there is so much more of being a part of 7K. We have multiple benefits of being a part of 7K, and we don't have the time to go into it. And so what I'd like to do now is introduce one of my very best friends. This is a person that shared with me really how to build this business, how to share this business. And the reason I say that is because the person that shared 7K with me, I was super grateful for him and that he shared 7K with me, but then he just kind of, dropped off the face of the earth, so to speak. And so I was looking for a mentor, and that's really important. If you're going to do this as a business, that you have some sort of mentor that can help you. Well, I found my champion, Mr. Tony Hubbard. Now, Tony is a fantastic teacher, leader, mentor, and again, one of my very best friends, Executive Gold Associate, Mr. Tony Hubbard. Will you share with these people how we actually make some money being a part of 7K?
Absolutely, Chris, man. It's always a pleasure to get a chance to be on this platform with such a professional like yourself. I have utmost respect because not only have you served our country admirably for 4 decades, and you're still helping individuals in dire need, during the emergency helicopter flight. But I have no doubt because of the character and the laser focus that you bring to the table here at 7K Metals, that you'll continue to be a top leader and earner in this company for many years to come. So definitely hats off to you, my brother. I look forward to your future success. And ladies and gentlemen, Chris said some great things about me, and that feels good. It always does. But if all that you ever knew about me was what he said, it could be very, very misleading. Because like most of you guys, nearly 8 years ago, I sat and watched a presentation similar to what you guys are seeing here today. And I was sitting next to one of my best friends on the planet. And I remember nudging him at the end of that presentation and saying, you know what? If this is above board, I'm in. Because I saw no way that a person could get hurt. And all I saw was a win-win-win scenario. So I decided to plant my flag nearly 8 years ago. From that time to now, I've introduced a few hundred people to the concept. And I am blessed now to have a team that is tens of thousands of individuals around the world. Now, I don't share that today to impress you, but to impress upon you that if someone like myself that does not have a college degree can do this business and earn several thousand on a weekly basis, Every last one of you guys here today will have that exact same opportunity. So over the next 15 to 20 minutes, let me share with you guys about the second aspect of our business that's attracted tens of thousands of individuals around the world, how you have an amazing way to be able to earn part-time, full-time, even life-changing income. Now, remember, Chris alluded to earlier that half of Americans couldn't cover a $400 emergency in their life if one arose, and that's alarming to me. That means if a tire were to blow out, something happens to the washer or the dryer. And in lieu of the fact that over 50 million people in 2020 found out they were not essential employees, I'd venture to say the number's closer to now to 60%. So let's talk about how our compensation plan has solved a $400 emergency for tens of thousands of individuals around the world. Now, in our compensation plan, we get paid 4 different ways. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, the newest way we get paid is what is called instant gold pay. And that's an amazing thing that's taken the industry by storm, because you know what? Nobody else in the industry is paying people instantly in gold when a transaction takes place. We also have a way now to get paid in metal and bullion when the people that you sign up also buy bullion. The loyalty program allows you now, for the first time in our history, to get paid in collectible coins when you do a certain activity. And last but not least, our share plan has paid out millions of dollars over the last 8 years to tens of thousands of individuals by simply just sharing the information. But let's focus on right now. Let's watch a short video that will show you how we get paid instantly in gold.
What is Instant Gold Pay? It's the brand new 7K customer acquisition program that pays you directly in gold. Whenever you refer a new customer membership to 7K, we will instantly pay you either $20, $40, or $80 in fractional gold, sent to VaultMax and instantly shown on your Sound Money dashboard. We'll say that again. Instant gold. The minute your new customer referral finalizes their purchase, gold is sent directly to VaultMax on your behalf. So what's the catch? Well, you do have to have your Sound Money and VaultMax accounts properly set up first. But once that's done, there's nothing to stop you from getting out there, sharing 7K with someone new, and collecting an instant gold payment. We're ready. Are you?
Ladies and gentlemen, that's a beautiful thing. I mean, to get to do something and immediately after that transaction taking place, you now have gold in your wallet. I mean, a fractional gold bar that you can actually turn into silver or just let it accumulate and get a whole ounce. It's a beautiful thing. Now let's talk about the most lucrative way we get paid in our compensation plan, and that's through the share plan. Our share plan is very simple. It is known in the industry as a dual team system, which means at the end of the day, everyone you bring on board, you're going to place them on one of 2 teams. Why is that important? Well, if you study this industry of home-based business or network marketing over the last 80 plus years, history has revealed to us that, I don't care what the name of the company, what product you market or the service, the average person in their lifetime within that company will only sponsor 2.3 individuals. That's why the share plan is so popular, because even if a person considered average, they too can position themselves to earn above average income. And here's how it works. Once you bring on the first 2 individuals, you are now accumulating points, and any combination of just 250 points on both teams by your efforts or the team efforts, you earn a $250 commission. And ladies and gentlemen, the only bad news about that is that is the smallest check you'll ever receive in our company. Well, what if, because I brought in 2 people at the end of that week, I now have 500 points on both sides? Guess what? It pays out a $500 commission. And that's a beautiful thing for just signing up just 2 people on your own. And here's what I found to be true. In this industry, ladies and gentlemen, that is unheard of. See, in my 20 years of network marketing, I've seen other dual team systems before. And for the same amount of work, there are companies out there that will insult you and just pay you $20 for that, $50 or $100. But in this equation, you can earn as much as $500, and all you did was just sign up 2 people. And let me make sure I'm talking to the right audience. Let's just say you get started today. We help you bring on the first 2, and they bring on a few. And then next Saturday, that's a $500 commission in your back office. You really don't understand how it got there. Put a 2 in the check. If you would still cash the check, and maybe ask where it came from later on down the line. And you know what? It gets better from there. Because as you begin to add more and more people to your team, you can now get paid after $500 in $500 increments. It used to be up until a couple of months ago, $12,500 was the most you can make in a week, but they've recently enhanced our compensation plan. Well, now you can earn $25,000, $50,000, as much as $75,000 on a weekly basis. So the next question people ask, okay, points equal to dollars. So how do I get the points? I'm glad you asked. The first way you get points is through our e-commerce site. So no matter what package you decide to come on board with, it will come with an e-commerce site. So if somebody want to just test this thing out, I can send my individual link to them. They can buy everything I buy with a slight retail markup. And when they check out, whatever that difference is, the company will split it with me. But if they buy anything that has points, those points will go toward my commission. In addition to that, Chris talked about how putting your wealth on autopilot 5 different times in a month. You can set it and forget it. And here's the beautiful thing about it. Most product-driven companies, when you buy your product every month, it just keeps you qualified. You don't get points for that. But not only do you get points when people on your team buy the collectible coins, they will also give you points toward commission when you buy your own coin. In addition to that, one of the coolest things they ever introduced us to, and also sometimes one of the most frustrating, is a concept called a coin drop. Well, you'll get an email at the start of the week, and they'll tell you on a certain day, at a certain time of the day, they will give you access to some rare coins. Sometimes it's a couple of thousand of them. If you're fast enough to get one, it comes with points. Sometimes it's a couple of hundred of them. If you're extremely fast, like my man, Mr. Chris Latin, to get one, it also comes with points. And last but not least, every other retail product on the site, if you purchase those points will go towards your commission. And as you begin to build a team, just know every new person that comes on your team, they will have points associated that will turn into your monthly, bi-weekly, or weekly commission. So what is my income potential? If I decide to take this thing serious, let's just look at the numbers. When you bring on the first 2 individuals, you're now qualified to get paid as an associate. Associates can earn up to $500 on a weekly basis. But what if I need to make just a little bit more than that, Tony? Real simple. Just duplicate your success. Add another one left and another one right. You can get paid now as a copper, and coppers can earn up to $1,000 on a weekly basis. What if I need to make this thing full-time and maybe replace what I'm doing? You guessed it, duplicate your success again. Now you can get paid as a bronze, and bronze can earn up to $2,000 on a weekly basis. And I hope you recognize a pattern here, because one of the things I so appreciated about the compensation plan from the very beginning is that it resembles some of the things I was taught by one of my first mentors, Mr. Zig Ziglar. He said you can have everything you want out of life if you just simply help enough other people get what they want out of life. And the only way you'll make the most in our compensation plan, teamwork makes the dream work. And if you help a lot of people, you can earn a lot of income. Now, for those of you who have aspirations of going full time, maybe having the pleasure of firing your boss and walk away from what you're currently doing, that type of income starts at the next rank of silver. You've added 5 left and 5 right. Silvers can earn up to $3,500 on a weekly basis. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? $3,500 a week, $14,000 a month is nothing to sneeze at. Matter of fact, that type of income puts you in the top 10% of income earners, not only in the United States, but anywhere on this planet. And the company recognized here's typically where the cream rises to the top. So much so, a few years ago, they decided to do something unheard of, to incentivize you to take this thing serious from day one. They said for everyone that comes on board, we're going to give you 90 days to reach that rank of silver and be able to get make at least $5,000 in a 4-week period. They're not going to hand you a certificate or a plaque. How about a trophy of a 100-ounce silver bar like you see on the screen? Coincidentally, same one I'm holding in my hands right now, and the same one you saw Chris holding up earlier, that's valued at about $3,500. Now, over the last 8 years, There's been over 600 individuals so far in the company that have reached the rank of silver. About 200 of them did it in less than 90 days. Some less than 60. And you know what? We've even helped a few get it done in less than 30 days. And because our team here, Legacy Builders, is responsible for helping well over 100 people get their own 100-ounce silver bar, as my grandmother would oftentimes say, if you can do a thing, you can definitely teach a thing. I'm looking forward to helping at least 100 more people before the end of the year get their own 100-ounce silver bar. Some will have it right before Christmas. So do me a favor. If you want to be in that next group of 100 that get your own 100-ounce silver bar, put a 5 in the chat, because we want to know who the up-and-coming leaders are in our company. All right, we got some takers. We got some 5s. Some people put in multiple 5s. That's a beautiful thing. And for those of you who believe in the adage of creating generational wealth, helping individuals to make not only some full-time but even life-changing income, that typically starts at the next 3 ranks. And as I stated earlier, they've added 3 more on top of this that no one has achieved so far. But so far in our company, there's about 100 people so far that have reached the rank of gold in the company at $7,000 a week. 19 of us have become executive gold, which means we can earn up to $10,000 a week. And currently, there's 3 presidential goals that can earn up to $12,500 a week or $50,000 a month. So what that should tell you, mark my words, because platinum, executive, and presidential platinum are the ones that just added a couple of months ago. By the end of next year, that will be about a dozen individuals that will be earning that $25,000, $50,000, up to $75,000 a week. So all I can tell you guys is that the best is yet to come. So you're probably wondering right now, how much does a program like this cost? I heard about the benefits you and Chris talked about, and I heard about everything you said. So here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Our company was designed to help everyday people have success. So all the offerings are very affordable. We refer to them as good, better, and best. $149, $269, and $599, you are in the game. For those who are really not sure, you just want to stick your toe in the water, our basic is $149. With that one, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to send you your first piece of silver. You have limited access to all the benefits we talked about, but you can build a business and make part-time, maybe full-time income. For those who are a little bit more serious, $269, the VIP is an annual membership. That's not $269 a month, that's $269 a year. And here's what you're going to receive. All the benefits that me and Chris just talked about, you know, the auto saver, the whole 9 yards, and the savings program. You're going to get that with the VIP, and you can get paid 3 out of the 4 ways we get paid, but you can seriously make full-time and even life-changing income. But for those of you who are like myself, that believe if I'm going to play the game, I need to have all the whistles and I need to have all the buttons. Our Legacy VIP is designed just for you. For $599, that's not annual. That's not every other year. How about $599 one time? You now have a lifetime subscription to what we call the country club version of 7K. Because you're going to get everything we just talked about and so much more. But here's the beautiful thing about it. 2 things I want to emphasize, and we're going to wrap this thing up. Number one, because it's a lifetime membership, that means you're going to save potentially thousands in future memberships because you never have to pay again. In addition to that, the Legacy VIP, the $599, is the only way you can get paid compensation-wise in the 4 different ways. Not only can you get the instant gold pay, not only can you get paid loyalty and collectible coins, not only can you get paid in the share plan, but this is the only way you can get paid in bullion when the people that you sign up directly also buy bullion in our Sound Money wallet, which consists of silver eagles, gold eagles, silver bars, and gold bars. So that means if they make a $25,000 purchase in silver eagles, guess who's getting paid now in silver eagles? What if they buy $1 million in gold bars? Guess who's getting paid now in gold bars? They showed us the numbers. And they said if this program would have been around for the last 3 years, that would have been over a dozen individuals that would have received at least $20,000 of gold and silver for free. That would have been over 400 individuals, myself and Chris included, that would have received at least $1,000 of gold and silver for free. Now, don't get me wrong. I love being able to buy gold and silver at a discount and get access to some rare coins. But do me a favor, put a 3 in the chat. You're like me. If I can get something for free, I'd rather get something for free. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, every time I share this information, without fail, as far as coming on board and making that intelligent choice, individuals always fall into one of 3 categories. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. You're on here today. Person number 1, say, you know what? I like what I hear. I'm really not to the networking thing you guys been talking about, but I know what's going on in the economy. And I know I need to be putting some of my hard-earned earnings into gold and silver. I say, great. Get back with the person who invited you out. Let them know you're number 1. You got 149 or 269, and you're ready to start stacking gold and silver from your own free website starting today. Person number 2, you're like thousands of our associates that say, you know what? I think it's cool to buy the gold and silver. I do. I think it's a beautiful thing to get collectible coins. But with real inflation now being closer to about 10%, and last I checked, they're not handing out 10% raises on jobs right now. So that means the average person is falling behind every year. My household can use an extra $1,000. You have no idea what an extra $2,000 on a regular basis would do for my household. I say, great. Get back with the person inviting you to the Zoom. Let them know, hey, you're number 2. You got a 269 or 599, and you want to stack and make some money. But if you're like I was, guys, I was guy number 3. When I found out I could earn now up to $300,000 a month with a product that just makes a lot of sense, it became a no-brainer to me. You see, being a student of this industry, here is what I knew to be true. There are thousands of companies out there in the network marketing space. Last I checked, another 200 different companies pop up every single year. And you know what they all boast about? They all boast about making money, but they can't all boast about making sense. And here's what I mean by that. You see, it never made sense to me to pay 5 to 10 to 20 times for a product that I could literally go to Sam's Club or Costco, same ingredients for a fraction of the cost. It never made a lot of sense to me. But you know what has always made a lot of sense over the last 8 years? Having a $100 silver bar showing up in your mailbox. What about 1 ounce collectible gold coin that you pay $1,500 and now it's close to $4,000, or better yet, how about getting coins because they were minted by your company that nobody else in the world can get? And this is the Pearl Harbor USS Arizona coin. That's only 1,177 of these coins in the world. It's a 5 ounce pure silver coin that if you go to Pearl Harbor, you'll see it dedicated there. To get a coin that we got for $850, and now I've seen it sell for as much as $5,000. To have assets like this, and to be able to make now up to $300,000 a month, that made sense to me. So do me a favor today, put a 2 in the chat if the information you've heard today just makes sense. All right, well, we're going to share our screen right now, and here's one. We're going to open up for Q&A, but here's what I want you to understand. I don't expect you to grasp everything I just shared, myself and Chris just shared over the last 45 minutes. I don't. But the truth of the matter is that we've all made far more expensive decisions. We've all made far more critical decisions in our life with a lot less information. And let me just prove it to you. Put a 2 in the chat if you've ever worked a 9 to 5, and before they turn you loose, they said you had to go through some little process called an orientation. Put a 2 in the chat, before they turn, I don't care if it was McDonald's, Burger King, you had to go through some type of orientation. All right, put a 3 in the chat if you didn't grasp every concept about that company after the first couple of hours, or first couple of days. In my case, at the chemical plant, it was 6 months later before I really knew what was going on. But here's what I know to be true about you. You at least hung around long enough to get a paycheck. You at least hung around long enough to find out how to make the most money. And that's all we ask you to do today, ladies and gentlemen. Hang around long enough, and we're going to show you how we've helped thousands of individuals over the last 8 years make part-time and even full-time income. We're going to show you how we've helped hundreds of individuals make a 6-figure income in this company. So that being said, we're going to open up the floor now for Q&A. So if you're a guest on here today and you got 1 or 2 questions before getting started, here's the time you want to raise your hand, and we will allow you to unmute because we believe in being very transparent dotting the I's, and crossing all the T's. So the floor is open, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Chris, I guess you did it again. I was getting text during your presentation and saying, well, he's good. He's real good.
Tony, you're muted. Tony, you're muted.
Okay, so let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. We have some amazing training today. The first of the month, the first Saturday of the month, we always have our CFA, Mr. Ray Patterson, a gentleman that's one of my mentors when it comes to finances, that's made millions of dollars and he's helped people make 6 figures and even 7 figures income. He's going to share today some things about money that you and I both would just pay close attention to. And so we're going to have him share at the top of the hour. So we have 8 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, before we actually introduce my man, Mr. Ray Patterson. So do me a favor, reach out to your team members. Make sure that they are on so they can take some copious notes. And afterwards, we're going to show you how to build a team, part-time, full-time, maybe life-changing income. But here's what I want you to understand. And I want to preface this before we introduce Ray at the top of the hour is this. One of the things I found to be true, what you don't know about money, your ignorance can become somebody else's wealth. So that being said, Salome, if you would share some videos, let's refresh ourselves. I'll see you guys. Again, I appreciate each and every one of the leaders, and I see the numbers are growing. So keep reaching out to your team members. Make sure you're in a position where you can take some copious notes. Again, I have the privilege right now to introduce our first speaker, a gentleman who my respect grow for. I heard about this guy nearly 20 years ago when I first got involved in the space. Okay. Was thoroughly impressed. About what I heard. I got a chance to actually work with him in my second company. I've only been a part of 3 companies in 20 years. My second company actually worked with him. He was a part of our group, but we had never met in face. We saw one another on Zoom. And then I had the pleasure and privilege of meeting him for the first time about 6 years ago when we did a meeting out in Greensboro, North Carolina. He drove up, got a chance to meet. He saw us doing a presentation and rolling a church into the business. And we've become best of friends since then. He's one of my mentors. Like I shared with you guys earlier, I've signed up over 500 people in the 8 years here at 7K Mellows, and 14 of them are already multimillionaires. And he's at the top of that list. And so without further ado, it's one thing to make money, ladies and gentlemen, but if I don't know how to keep it, if I don't know how to grow it, but then it almost becomes a moot point. So without further ado, let's turn it over to the CFA, my man, Mr. Ray Patterson. Take it away, sir.
Johnny Hubbard, how are you, my friend? You looking good, bud?
Outstanding, man. I'm glad you made it through the storm, man.
Yes, it was very crazy. In fact, tomorrow we're heading up to deliver 3 tractor trailer fulls of the large bottles of Dasani water to the affected area up in Asheville, North Carolina. We've managed to procure a C-130A cargo plane from the Air Force. We're already getting pushback from Pete Buttigieg, the transportation secretary, as well as Alejandro Mayorkas, who is I'm not sure what he is, but anyway, FEMA needs to go. And so I don't want to get on my political soapbox here, but politics matter. We're going to get to that in 1 second, especially as regards your money. If you know anybody in the affected area, and it's massive, we finally, yesterday, we now have regular internet, regular phone service, power's back on pretty much full time. It's been very massive. So if you know any of these people in the affected area, if anything else, reach out to them. Well, you probably can't get a hold of them. That's another issue. The government's even trying to eliminate Elon Musk Starlink mobile providers from setting up. Okay, this is where we're at. So if you know anybody out there, please, if anything else, say a prayer for them. Say a prayer for them. And if you can do anything for them, please do. All right, that said, let's jump right into this. So I'm really glad to be back on here again today. Tony and I have worked it out to where I'm going to come on here the first Saturday of every month. We've been doing that for a few months now. And I'm going to impart a little bit of this wisdom, this financial wisdom onto you, and hopefully you'll take advantage of this and take this knowledge, add it to your existing action plan. And if you don't have an existing action plan, we'll be glad to help you get one. Okay, now, we're just 4 weeks and 3 days away from what has turned out to be the most financially important election we've ever had. Today, I want to bring you up to speed on a few topics that many of you have heard me discuss for 4 years now, but today's message may shock you. So please pay close attention, and I would advise you to take some very copious notes, as you will not hear what I'm about to tell you anywhere within the mainstream media. This information, if taken seriously and acted upon, could increase your net worth exponentially over the next year and eliminate you from losing much of what you have to the government. Let's jump right in. I want to ask you something. Do you remember where you were on March 9th, 2 years ago in 2022, March 9th? Are you aware of what Joe Biden put into place via an executive order that day? Anybody on here know what he did that day? If so, put a 1 in the chat. Let's see if anybody knows what happened on that day. And I'm not going to give you time to go try to Google it, and you won't find it under Google. Okay. All right. Well, I don't see anybody putting anything up there, so that tells me everything. Okay. You probably hadn't heard about any of this or the people facilitating all of this because they don't want you to know what they're up to. All of their destructive events are designed to keep you focusing on these events so you don't pay attention to what they're really up to. I'm referring to the death warrant on American financial freedom. On that day, in a very hush ceremony at the White House, without the approval of Congress, no less, without the approval of the states, and without the approval of me, you, and we the people, Joe Biden put into place and signed Executive Order 14067. I want you to write that down. I don't want you to go Google it. I don't want you Googling anything. If you don't have a Brave search engine by now, why? You're not going to get the truth anywhere from Google about anything. Get your Brave search engine. For God's sakes, establish you a Rumble account. That will allow you to get to the alternative media, so you might actually learn some truth as opposed to all of this indoctrination that they're trying to cram down our brains every day. Okay. This is what you will not absolutely find. Buried in Executive Order 14067 is a few paragraphs into it. It's called Section 4. The language in Section 4 makes Order 14067 the most treacherous act by a sitting president in the history of our entire republic, because Section 4 sets the stage to expand FedNow. You've heard me talk about FedNow on here. You've heard me talk about FedNow in great detail on my Thursday night podcast. But what they've done with Fed now, it's been in the works for, it was called FedCoin. That was the operating name that they used internally at the Federal Reserve before they rolled it out last July as Fed now. But now, because of that executive order, a whole lot is being added to it. So they don't have a name for that specifically yet. So we're calling that Fed Now 2.0, 2.0. Okay. This is increased legal government surveillance of all of us citizens. Total control of all of your FDIC bank accounts and all of your purchases. This will also give them the full ability to silence you if you want to dissent against anything that they're doing. Okay, well, we've seen what's happening with the school board meetings, people getting arrested for praying outside of an abortion. I mean, it's nuts. It amazes me. In this new war on freedom, the Dems aren't coming from your guns. No, they're thinking much bigger than that. They're coming for your money. It's definitely already started. Most of all, like you, I'm a very proud American patriot. Okay. The disturbing predictions you're about to hear are based on my own research and information that I've obtained through my longtime contacts in the military, the banking sector, politicians, yeah, and the Dallas and San Francisco Federal Reserve branches. Now, as with many things in life, life is about choices. Now, you can choose to believe what I'm about to say. You can choose to believe what I've been trying to teach you. And then you can confirm every bit of it by doing your own research. Or you can keep your head in the sand and remain a sheep and have the government and the Federal Reserve take everything you have ever made that is attached to the United States dollar, you know, that funny money right here, and watch what happens. This information is what I believe Section 4 of that executive order means for all Americans. It is they're laying the groundwork for the United States dollar to become completely obsolete. Very soon now, your cash will be confiscated or will simply become worthless paper. Okay. The cash currency that we have now will be replaced by a new programmable digital token. But the truth is, few outside of the deep state actually recognize what Biden's move really is. If my predictions and others within my financial circle are correct, and we usually are, history proves it, this executive order is so much more nefarious than simply replacing the cash dollar with a new digitized version. The new currency will allow for total control of all American citizens, because every digital dollar will be programmed by the government. We all know that the Federal Reserve is a private corporation. There's nothing federal about the Federal Reserve. We know that they have no reserves. Okay, we know all of this. And hopefully you've gone to Mike Maloney's Hidden Secrets of Money, gone through every single one of those 10 episodes. They're about 30 minutes in length. If you have not done that, why? Start that today. Share it with your family, your spouse, your mate, whatever. It's an amazing series. 10 episodes. They're around 30 minutes apiece. Go do that over the next week. Watch what happens. Okay. All right. All of this is very different than the online banking that you're doing right now. You know, I have told people, do not use this thing to do any financial transactions. Now, we've talked about that on here before. All right. None of this has anything to do with crypto. It does, but not really. All right. AOC, you probably know who she is, and many of the other of the Democrats in Congress, as well as the rhinos across the aisle in the Republican camp, have already publicly declared their support for her speaking about this new spyware currency. The digital dollar means these elected politicians and bankers will be able to punish any contribution, any purchase, or even your social media comments. Hey, you're putting everything about 7K and gold and silver, you're putting it all over facelift book. Hopefully you're on X. That's where I'm getting very popular. I don't go, and by the way, I don't get on Facebook much anymore because it's worthless. It's a complete waste of my time. I could care less about recipes, golf games, and all of that happy stuff. No, I'm here to make money and to teach people how I make money. And yes, 7K is a very big part of that. Okay. Now, the deep state has been hard at work quietly implementing this below the surface, unbeknownst. All of this is unbeknownst to the casual citizen. They rolled out their beta test on FedNow last July 1st, 2023. Most of you, as I said a couple of minutes ago, most of you have heard me talk about FedNow and how unscrupulous and how constitutionally illegal it is. But FedNow, and I'm doing some things in the background to push back against this. For example, I'm working with seven state banking commissioners. I'm trying to educate them on all of this, including Section 4. It just amazes me. We have people out here in power that we elected, and they're dumber than dirt. But this is where we are in 2024. Truth told, our government is racing to catch up with the BRICS nations, which all of that got put into place or started about 12 years ago. All of this I've talked about. All of the originating BRICS countries, they already have launched their own pilot programs for their own digital currencies, or what you may be more familiar with is CBDCs. Okay. Almost 90% of the world's central banks are ramping up to come up with their own CBDCs. Notice I said central banks, all of which that eventually become one global universal digital currency. That is their ultimate goal. This is what the New World Order crowd and the WEF, the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, George and Alex Soros, all of those treasonous, whats. This is what they want. This is what they want. This is why politics matters. This is why getting proper financial education matters. All of this is why you need to have this stuff and this stuff. It's pretty much that simple. All right. One currency, one media company, one army, and one collective group of obeying serfs. This is what they want, and they are close to getting their way on this. Why? You might want to think about what I'm going to say next. Because so many people out there, they're lazy, they're ignorant, they don't care, they're in denial, or they have become so indoctrinated by the deep state, they just simply do nothing in hope that things will work out for them. Folks, these people represent half of the population. But I have great news for you this afternoon. Every single one of you on here today does not fall into that category. Okay. You're here to learn. You're here for a potential opportunity. Okay. It's not a question of if any of this is going to happen, but simply when. If they control your money, you know, this stuff, the digital version, this is why you got to have this stuff. If you own it, if you can hold it, you've heard that expression. If you can't hold it, you don't own it. You're going to be fine. This past Thursday night, coming up this next Thursday night, if you would like to understand what's happening with this stuff in the background, what if I told you that for every ounce of this stuff that you have, what would you do if I said, when we go to the new financial system, which is going to happen one way or the other, I'm coming to that. What would you do if I told you that for every ounce of silver you've had, I don't care if it's a Liberty Silver Eagle, I don't care if it's a Liberty Silver Eagle slabbed inside of a numismatic case, doesn't matter. Same thing with gold, but mainly with silver. What would you do if I told you that the new market value of all that silver you better have is going to go up 16-fold overnight when we go into the new system? I want you to think about that. I'm going to be getting into greater detail about that this coming Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Would love to have each of you on board here today. Come over and hear what I'm talking about regarding that. All of that relates to what I'm talking about right now. 16-fold. That is a very legitimate statement if you have the relationships and the contacts that I do in the background. And because of those relationships and contacts, this is partially how I know what I know, combined with all the research that I do pretty much 7 days a week. Okay. Part of what's going on with this is called Project Lithium and Project Hamilton. Again, you're not going to hear anything about these on Google, except maybe some type of a lie, because you're not supposed to know about any of this. But Project Lithium and Project Hamilton, that gets back into the new FedNow 2.0. We're going to be touching on that next week. By the way, that website, if you want to come participate on that, we hope you do. You simply go to the number 9 and then the letters at night, NIGHT.com. That's 9 at night.com. 9 p.m. every Thursday. Then you're going to be asked to put in a password. The password is simply the number 9 at night, but you capitalize at night. Okay, it's that simple. I hope you wrote that down. Now, if Harris wins, all of this will be implemented much sooner than later. I want you to think about that. If Trump wins, none of this will become a reality. And FedNow, what's been implemented so far, will be completely taken away for the good. Those two statements right there should be your impetus to make your decision on who you're going to vote for. It's really that simple. Okay, if Harris wins, she's going to work very hard to see that all of this come to pass. If she and the Democrats and the Republican rhinos can pull this off, this new digital dollar will instantly become a programmable token like Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies, but there's a big difference. Remember, cryptocurrencies, gold and silver, are what? What, folks? They're decentralized. Okay. This system, just like the Federal Reserve's dollar, is a centralized system. I want you to please make sure you know the difference between decentralized and centralized. You don't want anything to do with anything that is centralized or that's got it's got the hands of the government, its talons, the talons of the government around it. Anything to do with it. Okay. So they want to replace cash. We touched on that. And soon, if this is allowed to happen, this new digital currency, or FedNow 2.0, FedNow on steroids, it will become mandatory in the United States. All right, now, I'm going to leave the rest for what I'm going to say on Thursday night. But I hope what you learned today, I hope you've heard about FedNow. I hope you've heard me and others talk about FedNow. But today, you just learned what the government is doing quietly in the background to expand FedNow into what we're calling FedNow 2.0. Okay. Lastly, I'm going to say this. We're going to wrap it up for today. There have been plenty of people out there since July of last year that have tried to buy physical gold and silver, like at a coin shop. The transaction's been denied because they whipped out that debit card from their FDIC bank, who issued them that debit card with the FedNow logo on the back of it. Okay. That should tell you something. You get a new debit card from your FDIC bank, which you shouldn't be in anyway. You need to be in a credit union. We've talked about that. If you flip that card over and it has that FedNow, that blue and white logo on the back of it, for God's sakes, do not activate it, or your entire financial life as you know it will be over. Will be over. Folks, none of this is hyperbole. Every single thing I'm telling you, teaching you is absolutely true. I can back it up till the cows come home. You've got to have gold, gold. You got to have some silver. Okay. 7K metals. I have been with 7K metals directly under Tony since August of 2018. I'm not going anywhere. The beautiful thing I like about 7K metals, it gives the average American, the average person that doesn't know anything that I know, it gives that person the ability to buy silver and gold incrementally. Doesn't matter what you make. Okay. You can buy 1 coin a week, 1 coin a month, whatever. But I'm telling you, as part of what I'm going to get into this Thursday night, what I've discussed on this show previously, there is a supply and demand convergence already happening. Soon, you're going to see silver, depending on the election, will determine if silver goes above $100 an ounce by the end of this year. Okay. We've already seen what gold and silver has done. If you go back to the year 2000, in fact, I was having a conversation with Chris about this just recently. If you go back to the year 2000, if you had been invested in gold, your annual rate of return for 24 years would have averaged out 8% a year. Think about that. Okay. That figure blows away a lot of the other indexes out there, things that I deal with in my company. I've been buying gold and silver since 1994. There's a reason I've done it. That discipline, that mentality, that, wait for it, mindset And by the way, I still do it to this day. I've never stopped. Well, with the exception of 4 months after the crash of '08. Quite frankly, I couldn't afford to do anything right after that. But with the exception of those 4 months, I've been buying gold and silver. Typically a tube. Here's a tube of Canadian maples. Typically a tube and at least 1/10 of an ounce of gold. And I've been doing that practically every month since March of 1994. That right there is why, plus with constant research, studying, getting my CFA, going back, getting my constitutional law degree, all of the above. At age 67, I'm in pretty good shape. At age 67, it doesn't really matter what the government tries to do to me at this point, because I have privatized every single thing I've got. Okay. 7K is the best plan B that I have ever seen presented. And that's exactly why I'm doing it. It gives me the ability to share this information with the average person and help them develop their own plan for financial success. That's what I want to do to you. People in legacy builders, you have the ability of reaching out to me, having a brief conversation with me, and you can simply do that by scheduling an appointment, going to Ocean Drive Capital. That's oceandrivecapital.net. Go all the way over on the control tabs at the top of the website where it says contact us. Fill out that requisite information. Somebody from my staff will get back with you to arrange that phone appointment, and I will do whatever I can to help you within the allotted time. And you get that for free because you're on here today. You only get that if you're with Legacy Builders. That's what I'm willing to do to help you. Tony, that was a lot. None of this is easy. It's all about connecting these massive set of dots. But I hope everybody on here today learned something. Like I said, go to the website for more free education. Come on to the podcast next Thursday night for more free education. Be safe out there. Go cast your vote here in 4 weeks and 3 days. God love each and every one of you. Watch your six. We'll see you next month. Tony, I appreciate it, my friend.
Appreciate you, Mr. Ray Patterson. Everyone, do me a favor, put a 2 in the chat if you gain some valuable information from a man, Mr. Ray Patterson, and make sure you can plug in the 9 at night to get some financial education. Because again, it's one thing to make it, it's another thing to keep it, and it's another thing to know how to make it grow. And my man, Mr. Ray Patterson, is one of the best I've ever seen at that. And he's talking about, not only with our gold and silver, but again, he's a wealth of knowledge. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do now, another young lady I'll have the utmost respect for. She's only been on board with our team for a little over a couple of years. But during that time frame, she's impacted thousands of lives, probably one of the most popular people in the company. And this young lady is going to come on and share. Right now, the company is laser focused on creating massive momentum for everybody in the company to take this to $1 billion company in the next 3 to 5 years. And one of the ways you do that, ladies and gentlemen, is having duplication and simplicity. And the company has put together, so many people are having challenges being able to download the app and being able to send out the videos from there. So they did the simplest way they can do it. If you can log into your back office, you can send videos, and those videos can be tracked, and you have a valuable tool to make sure they see the preview before they see the movie. So to show us how to do that again, because we want to make sure everybody knows how to do it, it's top producer, my friend, Miss Sally Mary. Take it away.
Thank you, Tony. Very sweet introduction from you. Thank you. I do want to thank everyone that's still here that continues to stay with us, especially the leaders that are present. I mean, look, Maureen, Executive Gold is here as well. And it's just really nice. Kamaka, Silver Associate, that's like what I'm seeing on my screen right now. And I'm really glad that you guys are here and supporting us here. Now, I have had a lot of questions on what I say to people and how I share the information in regards to the 25 links. So I went ahead and created a very comprehensive slideshow, and you guys are more than welcome to take screenshots, and I would definitely love to continue to share with you guys this information. Now, let me do something real quick here, because I get easily distracted with the different stuff on the screen, so I gotta clean my screen off real quick. All right, great. So, for those who don't know, please do know that there is a reset for the silver bar. And so the contest started back in August 18th and it goes on until December 1st. So this is just a recap. Now, come on, slideshow. Okay, so how you qualify is by simply sending out 25 videos and making sure that people watch them from beginning to end. Okay, so you can earn a coin. Right now, the coin that they're giving away is this coin. Okay, but at some point they will, especially if you earn 2,000 points, they will be sending you an MS-70 coin. Now, just make sure that when you send out the coins, send out the videos, you encourage people to watch it from beginning all the way to the end, let it play out. So here are the points. You have the ability to earn up to 2,000 points, right, for every 25 videos sent. And these are all the other points on how you could earn it. So this is the coin, and there's already a few people that received them in the mail, and a couple of those people are definitely in the meeting with us here today. So like Miss Joe Preston and Mark Mills. So we are 4 weeks into this, guys. So there's still plenty of time to get on board and get going and do it the right way. So I love Jim Rohn. I've listened to him for a really long time. Success is something that you attract by the person you become. So that means that you need to make sure that you're constantly looking for things to improve yourself. And one of those ways that the reason I wanted to share that with you guys is that I learned from Oprah a while ago about the importance of a prayer, setting an intention, and or meditation, right? It is a true scientific backed practice that truly improves your performance and how you correspond and how you interact with people. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because of the next slide, which is the Recruiter's Creed. Now, if you guys want to take a screenshot of this, please do. And this has been modified already according to Tony's, for lack of a better term, standard. He's updated and modified this so that it is more catered to being more goal oriented and focused. So the way that I understood how he does this is he literally reads this every day before he gets started in the day. For me, how again, it goes back to this science, right? About being able to put your mind, your body, and your spirit aligned. And how you do that is through prayer, meditation, or setting your intention. And the Recruiter's Creed, because this is what we do, we network, we connect with people. This is one of those ways that you're able to do that. At least center yourself, focus yourself so that you're able to get your goal together. Now, so how to get started and get going. So make sure you take 5 minutes to set a time to commit to complete this task. And what that task is, setting your goal, setting your intention, and reading the Recruiter's Creed. Now, next thing you need to do is you need to make sure that you send out your text, your call, or email. Now, you communicate with people the way that person prefers to communicate. If you know that someone is a talker, pick up the phone and call them. If you know someone is a texter, pick up that phone and text them. If you know they're an emailer, send them an email. Have a short conversation or short text, whatever, email, text, or voice call. Make sure you keep it short. I know one thing I learned from my grandmother is that she taught me that love begets love. That's a typo. But so to me, I took that as, you know, if love begets love, then that means kindness, and respect begets kindness and respect. So I need to make sure that I respect the person that I'm messaging so that they know what I'm doing. And plus it gets them to commit. The third thing is, you know, once you get your future business partner to commit to watch the video, remember to BAM fam, you know, Tony, this is something that he drilled in my head: book an appointment from an appointment. And so that means when you get them on the phone, text message or email, when you've got this transmission of communication, make sure that you have already set up a time on when you're going to follow up with them. And you can include the verbiage in the link, and I'll show you guys what that is. When you send them, make sure you thank them, make sure that you assure them that you'll be available for any questions, and even a possible three-way. And if it isn't noon in their life, you know, ask them for a referral. Now, what I mean by this is something that Tony said, you know, sometimes if it's not 12 o'clock in somebody's time, it's not their time. But that doesn't mean you close the door and you never want to talk to them again. That means you put them on the list, a separate list that you continue to follow up with. And also remind them that, hey, I'd love for you to keep me in your Rolodex. Well, you know, I'm old enough to know what that is. For you youngins, it's, you know, just your phone book, okay? And you know, somebody wants to get connected in regards to the interest in having a home-based business, making money above and beyond what they're currently making. This is a way to make sure that you're available for referrals. Now, this is another thing that I got from Jim Rohn, and also from years of therapy. Setting a SMART goal. So what is a SMART goal? Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timed. So make your daily goal. Make sure that you make your 10 calls. And so an example of a short-term goal is to make 10 calls and send out 5 videos 5 days a week, right? And the long-term goal, this is, you know, and I just gave you guys this example, for me, is to earn a silver bar and become a silver associate by November 30th. Now, bonus entry, this is something that I take from Zach, and I take this to heart because it's true. It is hard for a grateful heart to be sad or disappointed. So bonus entry, take a screenshot of this, you know, and write it out, what you're grateful for, and then continue to chug along in making sure that you meet your goals. Now, so here's the invitation for the script for the video. Now, this was something that Tony went over last week, and I do get a direct message from people asking for this. So this is a version that you guys can use. So go, you know, I'm not gonna continue to say take a screenshot. I'll just make sure I leave it long enough. And if you guys want to want me to go back to a slide, just let me know. So, you know, let them know, hey, our company is having a contest. Can you help me out by watching a 2-minute video? Please make sure that you watch it all the way to the end and give me your opinion. Now, these are Tony's scripts. I have a different way of saying it, and I'll show you guys that in a second. Now, version 2, I like this. Our company is aggressively expanding. Now, you need to make sure you talk to someone with a red personality using these words, because they're the ones who would really tie into this more. Our company is aggressively, you know, expanding in the market. Can you do me a huge favor and watch a 2-minute video to the end and let me know if this may be a good fit for you? Now, the other one is you either get them to convert through the use of videos to become members, because that's the whole point of why we're doing this, is to make sure that we get stackers and business partners, right? So when you don't get them, or you can't get them to watch the 22-minute video, and you know that it's a better fit for them to be in the Zoom, make sure that you send them this invitation, right, to the Zoom. Now, here we go. So when you guys first come on, make sure that, well, let me go back real quick. I want to go and do this as a live action. Let me see. I want to make sure that you guys are still seeing my screen. Okay, so when you first log on to your website, you get on here, right? And then you make sure you click on your account. And when you get to accounts, you need to swing right here where it says share links, right? So now we're caught up, share links. So that's where this comes in. When you log in, you get to your account, go to share links, there you go. Boom. Second thing you need to do is make sure when you're creating a new link, you click on new link. Second thing you do is, this thing will pop up. Make sure that you name your link, right? And for example, Sally Mary's Peak Video 1, right? And then make sure you create a welcome message and a follow-up time. Remember what I told you guys earlier about being able to, thank them for watching it. It's part of this neuro-linguistic programming, right? You're telling people what you want them to do without telling them what to do. So you thank them ahead of time for doing something that they've committed to do based off of the conversation you've had, and make sure that you follow up with them on what you're going to be doing in the near future. Like, not near future, but that maybe it's that afternoon or tomorrow. Now, here's a pro tip for you guys. Do not, I repeat, do not say, when are you available? No, your time is just as valuable as theirs. So make sure you say to them, hey, I'm available at 5 p.m. today, 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. tomorrow, and on Monday as well. So which time works best for you? Make sure you have your calendar and write it out that way. And then you include it onto here. Don't willy-nilly don't let them give you the time that they're available, because they're not gonna value your time. You could also check with them on when they're available and then have them commit at that time when they're available. So that's another option too. Now, right here, I have a love-hate relationship with this section about the not interested. So make sure that you create a message on here too. So the next thing that you need to do, so here are the message samples, right? So if it's an established relationship, right, make sure you write their name. And you want to start with a short phone call, right? You don't, or a short message. You don't want to go right for the gullet on what you want them to do, because you want to make that person feel important. One thing that I learned from Tony is that people like to hear their name. People want to know that you care about them, because they won't really care about what you got going on until you show them that you care about them. So how do you do that? Well, one, you make a short conversation with them, check in, say, hey, how are the kids? How are things going on? Like, what's going on with your friends or your family or your associate or the person that you know. So make sure that you address them in that thing that you can relate with them on. And then thank them. Hey, it was really nice catching up with you today. I'm glad you picked up my call, read my message, or email, whatever it is, right? Thank you for taking the time to watch this life-changing 2-minute video until the end. I look forward to hearing your thoughts on it this afternoon as we have discussed. So meaning that I've already set a time to have them to commit to speak with me that afternoon at 5 p.m. Or, maybe someone that you just met at a grocery store. I know I do this all the time. Well, not all the time. Every time I go out to the grocery store, I try to make small talk with people, especially when the line is long. Especially when they start asking, I ask them about them and what they're doing, and then they would tell me, oh yeah, I work at the library, and it's like, oh, that's cool. And then when they do ask me what I do, I make a little joke and I say, well, I do as little as possible. And then they would laugh, because there's something about telling someone a joke that just puts their guard down to get them to just, trust you a little bit. So then it's easier for you to share what you got going on. So this is what I do. I tell them, hey, it's a pleasure of speaking with you today. I'm so excited that you're taking the time to watch the video. I genuinely believe that you'll feel the same passion I do once you see what's possible. I truly believe that this can help you earn the money you need to start traveling more. Looking forward and following up with you this afternoon at 5 p.m. Now, this one is my favorite. My favorite is addressing the pain point. I say, when I get them to agree that they're going to watch a video, and this is usually people that I'm really close with, and I know there's something going on with them, but I also want to generalize it because this is like easier for me to mass send to everyone. I say, hey, tired of feeling stuck, ready to break free from the things holding you back? Watch this 2-minute video and discover a practical solution to overcome your challenges. Uncover secrets to a fulfilling life starting today. Be part of this opportunity to transform your pain into power. Click play and unlock the true potential. Let's make sure we connect, and then enter the date and time. So where I use this the most is when I go to home shows, when I go to gun shows. I have my links pre-written and pre-scripted, and I'll show you guys on how to use that. Now, you remember that part I told you guys about where it's not my favorite part of the share links? So this is my, this is the message I say to them. Hey, you know, thank you for watching the video. I completely respect that 7K isn't for you right now. Please know that I'm here for you whenever you're ready to explore more, especially when, you know, with the unpredictable market and the economy and how the inflation has been. Like, you know, if you guys have been paying attention to what Ray Patterson had shared, you're definitely going to stick them to the pain point of what's going on with the dollar, a hard-earned dollar, right? So just say, hey, there's no pressure, just support. Meanwhile, if you run into or know someone interested, please kindly send them my way. Stay in touch, you know, and I write my name and my phone number. So here is, so that, for example, the BAM fam, right? So there's the customized message. I usually have this, oops, sorry about that. I already have it like on a separate document form. And let me show you guys what I mean by that. I have it right here. I literally just highlight and copy, and then I paste, okay? And what that looks like in real life is just like so. So here is the real link and setting one up. I'll say this is Jane's link 1. And then right here, I copy this up. And of course, you're going to modify this as you need it, right? So Command A to highlight the whole thing. And then because you guys know how to copy, right? So you highlight what you want to copy, Control C, like on your thing, or Command if you have Apple. And you go to this. So Command A highlights it, and then Command V or Control V pastes your message, and then make sure you write the person's name, Jane, right? Now, right here with the not interested, we grab that message I already have right here. So I copy this, Control C, and I go back over here, Command A or Control A, there you go. And there's my message, okay? And then make sure that you save the changes. Okay, and when to save the changes, there it goes. And now let's go back to the slideshow. So there it is, right? And then make sure you pick which one, if you're doing the peak video, which is the 2-minute video. And then there's the created link, right? So with this created link, you can, you know, go back and create more links, but here is where you can copy the links, right? And send them via email right away. Or I'm not going to talk about the spreadsheet that I have. I don't want to confuse you guys. So then you just copy it from here. So this is if you're working on your desktop, and I'll show you guys too if you're working from your phone. So what's great about this is here it is, you know, what I love, this is something new that they did, is that you have the filtering, option. And then right here, when you see the red bell, that means that they've watched it all the way to the end, and there's some activities behind that. So here are some of the trackable activities that happens with that video. When you click on that video, this will pop up. Now, so when on a desktop, this is how your video looks like. So there it is, Jane, you know, this is from a desktop. That's how it looks. And then right there in the bottom, where it says not interested, if they click on that, this is the message that pops up, right? And then here it is on your phone. So from your phone, you log on your main account, then you go to share links, and then there's your share links. Right now, right here is where you'll get all your links. And what you do is you pick which one. So Sally Mary's first contact peak. So this pops up. So then you have the option of just making a copy of, well, actually, let's say you wanted to edit this, right? Let's say you wanted to edit this. You can do it from your phone by simply going to edit, and then there it goes. The second thing too is when you're ready to send it from your phone, you literally just click on copy, and then you can send it as a text message or an email from your phone. But you can also do the same thing on your desktop. Now, these are the different messages that happens. So, this, when you click on the message, this is the message that pops up. And then, now, what I hope for you guys to do is a couple of things, and I'll tell you guys that in a minute. So here is the video on the phone. It gives you the option of get started. Now, and then it gives you the option of no thanks. And I'll tell you guys in a minute what's really important on here. Okay, so before we go here, let me go back here. Let me go back to this. What I'm hoping you guys could do, help me out with, I cannot be the only one, is when you go on your desktop, it doesn't give that option to get started. It literally just says this: no, thank you, not interested. I don't like that. I don't like that, the not more info is available or get started is not available on this, right? So hopefully you guys can help me out, connect with 7K and let them know about about possibly making sure that we have more option than no thank you, not interested. And the second thing is this, which there's still a lot of flaws, and I test out buttons all the time because I don't like people having a hard time with the tools. I like people to have an ease of use of the tool, especially when we provide it. So even though this button get started is on here, guess what? It doesn't link to the get started, not consistently. So this is from from our phone. So if you guys could help me out, I'm kindly asking you guys to reach out to 7K and let them know that this button, this link does not connect. Now, let's see. The final thing I want to let you guys know is that acknowledging that good is already in you, in your life, and foundation for abundance, meaning that the good is already in you. You got all the tools that you need, and we're all here as a team to help each other out. Does anybody have any questions? Please raise your hand or put your question in the chat and let me know. All right, cool beans. Well, hopefully that's been useful for you guys. I'm going to just a short bit, Tony. So tomorrow at 5 o'clock, I'm going to be teaching a class on it's not I call it MAT. I don't like calling it ATM because Facebook is constantly changing and updating on how they do things. So even though you invite someone in the group, there are certain steps that you need to make sure that you do so that you can be successful in it. Again, you can call me a nerd, you can call me all sorts of names. I am a nut for real information and accurate information, and I like people knowing and having the right information. Not that someone else is teaching the wrong information. I just need current information. So if you guys email me or text me, I'll put my email and my phone number on the chat. I'll share you guys the link. Text me your email address so I can send you the invite for the class tomorrow to teach you how to if you guys want to if you guys are absolutely interested in how to utilize Facebook and in the messaging and the ad tagging system, because it's not ATM, it is now literally MAT. You literally need to message people and let them know, because if you don't, even if you add them and tag them to a group and they never accept it, it'll never reach them. So make sure I'll put that in the chat. And Tony, thanks for the opportunity, and everyone here, thank you for listening, and I appreciate you all.
All right, and again, put a 2 in the chat if you thoroughly enjoy Miss Sally Mary breaking down how to send out those messages and do it effectively. And she always has some valuable tips to make it simpler. Also, I want to share, because I actually, Sally Mary, just so you know, I talked with the CEO of this past week a couple of times. And one of the things we talked about was, again, making the system even better and getting some videos that are short that can actually convert even better. And so there is another video that's going to be coming up that'll give a little bit more information than the 2 minutes. I think it's going to be around 9 minutes. And it may be coming out as early as this coming week. and also they're going to have another option, and just other than things I'm not interested, or if I need to get more information. So that what you guys have put out there has definitely been heard. So we may see that as early as this coming week. So again, but just keep on putting the information out there, and so you guys can continue to get the kind of results you want to have. And that being said, we're going to wrap up today with a young lady I have the utmost respect for. She's been in this space in the neighborhood of 30 plus years. She's earned significant life-changing income during that time. And she's done the same thing here in 7K Metals in less than 4 years' time. And I want her, anytime I have her on, I want her to share from her wisdom how she's been able to build a team into the thousands in the 4 years she's been on here. And not only is she an executive gold like myself, but she's consistently one of the top 5 earners as an executive gold. Help me welcome to the call, to the Zoom, to share with today, my friend, executive gold, and the birthday girl, Maureen Faulkner. Take it away.
Okay, thank you, Tony. And I know everybody hopefully has as beautiful weather today as we do here in Idaho. It's so good for me to be back home again after spending 7 weeks in Houston. What I just want to share really quickly with you is that right now I'm talking, in fact, I'll be closing out a couple people today with signing up their membership. And that is that as a person who's been with 7K for 4 years, we've recently had some changes. Change is always interesting and sometimes challenging. But one of the things that Tony asked me, if you can just give a quick message. So I'm just going to say to you, Sally, that was excellent training. I learned a lot from Ray. I am grateful to Tony for all the effort he puts in to make sure that every single person who comes in to 7K has the opportunity to learn at their own rate by making trainings available on a very regular basis. So take advantage of that. But the one thing I want to share with you this morning is I want you to just think about one of the changes that I think is fabulous in 7K, and that is our Insta Gold. If I bring on a new person today, first thing I'm going to do is set up their Sound Money wallet, because instantly 7K is going to give them $5 in gold. Well, what does that mean? What can you do with $5 in gold? Maybe nothing yet, but you have some. And a lot of people don't have any, and they don't think that they're in a financial place right now where they could possibly get any gold. And I love sharing the fact that you can get instantly gold when you just share this business. When you're brand new, I'll help you share it until you get the confidence to share with the videos and with all the calls that you have available to you. But just think about the people out there who are watching the price of gold going up and believe with everything in their heart that they can't buy it, that it's out of their reach, that they wish that they had bought it when it was not $2,650 or $70 an ounce. With 7K, we have a way where if a person diligently, consistently, and persistently shares what we have, you can get either $20, $40, or $80 in gold immediately. Now, when I went in this week, I went into my Sound Money wallet, and just to make sure I was telling people the right thing. So if you're wondering, I took and said I wanted $80 sent back to my bank account. because I wanted to see if I got paid $80 today for bringing on a legacy membership, what would I actually get in cash? There was a $5 fee. So basically, it came out to $75. The very next day, that was in my checking account. And to me, that is so powerful because Tony was kind when he said 30 years in the industry. It's actually 5 decades. I still love the industry. I love 7K. And the fact that I can help someone who comes in, truly wants to share, get 2 bonuses in a week by just talking to a few people. We can talk to them about the value of our legacy package. And if they buy that, that person gets $160 immediately. They don't have to wait for the week to close out, for the next week, for the money to become available. This is immediate cash. How many people do you know that need immediate cash today? They don't have to drive Uber. They don't have to leave their house. They just need to share 7K. We pay in gold. We pay in silver, and we pay in fiat currency. You show me another company in all of the United States that pays in gold. I haven't found one yet. And if there is one, I guarantee you it's a whole lot harder than just sharing this business with a friend. So to finish out what I have to say, because I don't want to keep you out of your Saturday any longer, I just want to say I'm grateful for Tony's leadership. I'm grateful for the team of people he surrounds himself with. I'm grateful for all that Sally puts into making sure you know the details of how to do things if you're like me, low tech, high check. And I'm grateful for 7K. Use this as part of your conversation. If you've been in a while, you're not maybe thinking about the fact that the person needs money today. If they share the business today, they not only get points that will get them a paycheck, but they get cash or they get gold. That I tell people, I'm building my gold with recruiting. And then that is helping to build my paycheck, which I always buy silver when I get my paycheck. So I have all the ways that 7K is paying me. And I hope that helps somebody think about maybe one more thing or one more detail that you could say to a person that they might say, really? I can get paid in gold and I can get paid in gold today? Okay, tell me how. And then set them up with what Sally just shared with you. Thanks for asking me to share, Tony. You're always a gentleman.
All right, Ms. Mulready, it's always such a pleasure to get a chance for you to share your wisdom. Again, that's the reason why, ladies and gentlemen, she's consistently one of the top earners in any company she's a part of. And I have no doubt she'll impact thousands of lives over the next several years here in 7K Metals because of the wisdom and the simplicity she brings to the table. She and I have that in common, low tech, big check. I'm not the most technical guy in the company, but again, we found a way to make the big check. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, looking at the report today, there are thousands of you that with a little bit more push, you can make that extra 250, 500, 1,000. So let's go ahead and make that happen. I'll be available for 3 ways, and let's make this thing happen. Let's continue to invite so we can get this the numbers up to 50, 100 before this 31-day blitz. It's Project 2000. We're gonna add another 2,000 people to our team. You got to ask yourself the question: will 50 be added to my team? Will 100 be added to my team? Will 500 be added to my team? Well, again, you got to show up, in order to do it. And that's the first law of leadership, to show up. Because if you do that, ladies and gentlemen, my promise to each and every one of you, if you show up every single day in your goals and dreams, success will not elude you. So let's go ahead and make this another fabulous day. Let's close out the week strong. And I look forward to seeing you guys Monday night, 8 o'clock Eastern. We're going to have a phenomenal speaker that's going to be sharing. You don't want to miss it. Everyone have a great day. God bless. Take care.